Willman Education. Welcome dear learners. Today's topic is light. So today I am going to talk about light. We need light to see the world around us. So what are the sources of light? The objects that are capable of giving out light by themselves are called the sources of light or luminous objects. Objects that are capable of giving out light by themselves are called sources of light or luminous objects. So remember that luminous objects have their own source of energy. These objects can be natural or artificial. Luminous objects have their own source of energy. Luminous objects can be natural or artificial. Examples of natural luminous objects are sun and the stars. Examples of artificial luminous objects: here is the tube light, here is the bulb, LED bulb, here is a candle. These are all artificial. Objects that do not emit light of their own are called non-luminous objects. So, among the non-luminous objects, simple thing is this, that some of the examples are chair, table, book, wood, brick and stone, etc. So, this is the diagram given, the picture is given to give you the clear idea about examples of non-luminous objects. When light from a luminous object falls on the non-luminous object, some of the light get reflected in different directions. When this light enter our eyes, we can see the non-luminous objects. Remember it. Most of the objects we see around us are non-luminous objects. They just reflect light from the sun or from any artificial luminous source. Even the moon, which appears as a bright object in the night sky, is a non-luminous object. The moon receives light from the sun and reflects it as moonlight. This moonlight reaches us to the earth, enabling us to see the moon. The planets are also non-luminous objects as they reflect the sunlight falling on them. Light can travel through vacuum. So, light travels with a speed about 3 lakhs kilometer per second in vacuum or in air. The sun is about 1500 lakh kilometers away from the earth. Light of sun reaches earth a little more than 8 minutes. That means just to cover the distance of 1500 lakh kilometers, it takes near about 8 minutes. Based on the capacity of light to pass through the different materials, number 1 transparent materials, number 2 translucent materials and number 3 opaque materials. So, now question comes about their definition. What is called transparent materials, what is called translucent materials and what is called opaque material, that you are coming to know with a definition. First of all, you have to see the transparent materials. Transparent materials Here is the transparent material definition. The materials that allow light to pass through them completely are known as transparent materials. Completely, remember, to pass through them completely. So, transparent material examples are the following: clear glass, clear water, cellophane paper, etc., which are transparent, means you can see clearly. There is no question of obstruction. Okay. So, that is called transparent. You can see the example, there is a beautiful diagram is there. Next comes, the picture is there, the translucent materials. So, what are the translucent materials? Materials that allow light to pass through them partially, means to some part, are known as translucent materials. That means they do not allow the light to pass completely, only partially. That means some portions are being blocked. So, examples of translucent materials are ground glass, butter paper, frosted glass, and thin nylon fabric, etc. Here is the transparent glass is shown. This is the example. Then we are coming to the opaque material. Opaque materials definition: materials that allow no light to pass through them is known as opaque materials. Or we can say in this way also, the materials that do not pass through them is known as opaque material. That also you can say in that way. So, examples of opaque materials are wood, cardboard, plastic, metal, and leather, etc. There are plenty. Most of the substances around us are opaque. Here is the example of opaque material, that is a cardboard. Here is a whiteboard. Rays and beams of light. A very fine or narrow path of light is called a ray. Ray of light. It is represented by a line with an arrow head showing the direction in which the light is traveling. A collection of rays of light is called a beam of light. Any source of light, small or bigger, always give out of a beam of light. Depending on the direction of the rays of light in a beam, it can be of three types or three kinds. Number 1, parallel beam of light. Very interesting, observe it carefully. The light rays received, this is the definition, light rays received from a very distant source such as the sun are considered to be parallel. A parallel beam of light is represented by a set of parallel rays. So, this is very important in the sense that your definition often comes in the examination. So, here is the diagram of parallel beam of light. This is being considered, okay, supposed. Now, we are coming to the next one, is the divergent beam of light. By name itself we can understand what is divergent. Divergent means to go to different directions. When light is given up from a small source, then it is called divergent beam of light. So, candle is the best source, candle is the best example. Here is the diagram of divergent beam of light. You can see from one particular point the ray of light is moving to three different directions. Convergent beam of light. We have done parallel beam of light, we have done divergent beam of light. Now, the convergent beam of light, when the light rays from a nearby large source come close to meet or converge at a single point. It is called convergent beam of light. So, here is the diagram, you can see in one point convergent beam of light is meeting. They are coming from different directions. So, now you need to practice them, especially the drawing you have to practice, definition you have to practice. And attention learners and students, important reminder, please subscribe this channel as fast as possible to get more informations and lessons, and support the channel because it is a free educational channel. Please support it. Goodbye. Thank you.